What are you doing these days with recording? What do you think of digital technology?
Well, yeah. So there's so many options out there now. It's actually overwhelming a little bit.
Have you found that it's more economical to record?
Well, yeah, and the record companies have found that too. So they want you to make records for much less money than you could make a record. You can make a record today. You can make a really good record for a fraction of the cost that it used to take to make a record 15 years ago, because you don't have to go in and rent a huge. A lot of guys make albums in their garage. I mean, like I said before, my fourth album we did at my Marty Fredrickson's home studio, which is like literally not even 2 miles from here. And Marty and I, for the most part, played all the instruments on that. Noah sang on some of the stuff, and then we had a drummer that came in and played some drums. But I mean, just doing it that way, almost all of it, except for the big drum tracks, we actually went into a big room and recorded in a big studio to get a great drum sound. But, you know, that was a pretty economical way to make a record. That was my first time doing that. And it was interesting. It was a very educational process. I mean, I played more instruments on that record than any other record that I've ever recorded. And it was interesting, doing it that way. But what I like to do, what I prefer to do, is I like to go in and I like to have a whole band there in a big room together tracking, doing the rhythm tracks. Some of those songs Marty and I put down, and he was like playing drums and I was playing guitar. We didn't have a bass, and it was just me and him. And then we just played the other parts and started adding all the parts and kind of piling everything on top. But I really like to go in and do the tracking, the initial tracking with band members, because I feel like there's a certain energy that's captured there that you can't get from everybody, like from me playing 6 instruments by myself, you know. So anyways, but when we make records, we do Pro Tools, obviously. It's an amazing tool for editing. It's an amazing tool for, just all the things you can do with it that you couldn't do with tape. But we also like to record simultaneously to tape. And then we edit with Pro Tools, and then we bounce back and forth between the computer and the tape, because there's a warmth, there's like a tonality to the tape that is kind of lost in digital recording. And so that gives us the benefit of being able to kind of keep that warmth, you know. And I think a lot of guys do that. And usually everybody, when you mix down a record professionally, they always mix down on tape. But it's great. I mean, dude, I'm working on developing a home studio for myself, you know. And it's like I can freaking hook up my laptop and I can make a whole record right there if I wanted to. And it's pretty, it gives... Like, young guys have an amazing amount of resources and tools available to them today that I didn't have when I was a kid. And all these guys are going out and they're making demo tracks and they're making their own CDs. I got a friend of mine here tonight that calls me up on a regular basis, and he's like, dude, I'm at my house and I wrote this song and I'm jamming out, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you know, I listen to his songs, and he's making his own home record at home, you know. And then he puts it up on his MySpace page, and the whole world can hear it if they stumble across his page, you know. And a lot of bands are getting signed that way with YouTube videos and MySpace and all that stuff. So it's the amount of tools and resources that kids have because of technology today is unbelievable, and there's a lot of opportunity out there because of it.
How about songwriting? How are you approaching songwriting as a blues artist?
Well, you know, a lot of times, like Noah and I, for example, wrote a song called "Where Was I." And we wrote Shotgun Blues. It's kind of different. Like, Where Was I happened on the road. I came to Noah, and I actually had the music kind of down, and I had the line "Where was I before you came around?" because I'm kind of a sucker for love songs, you know. And we wrote it like on the back of the tour bus, you know, like that. But normally I come up with a guitar idea first, and then we kind of build lyrics around it. But sometimes I'll come up with like a great line. Like, there's another song that was on our second record that there's an amazing amount of fans that write to me and say that it was their wedding song. And it's called "I Found Love When I Found You." And it's another love song but I thought, man, what better way to tell a woman that, you know, she's really the one. And like, I actually found love when I found you. So I had that line, and then we built the song around that one line. But usually it starts with a guitar riff. And I've got, like, again, technology. I have like a little digital recorder. My telephone, everybody's phone has you can get a recording app and all that. Dude, I got 57 song ideas sitting in my pocket right here. And I will not leave this phone laying around either. But, I mean, I just sit there. I'll be like at home, man, and I'll be jamming out. And then all of a sudden I'll have something, and I'll pull out my phone, and I'll put it right on my lap, and I'll put down a song idea. And then sometimes I'll just piece things together. It's like I'll have this riff and I'll have that rhythm part and then I'll have this chorus thing and I'll realize all three of those things can go together to make one song. So it's cool, man. The songwriting process. I was just writing some songs the other day, and the guys I was writing with came up with an analogy that songwriting is challenging in the sense that it's like putting a puzzle together all day long. You know, it's like sitting there and like with all these like pieces scattered about in front of you and just trying to put the right ones together, man. You know, and if you can imagine, like we'll do writing sessions that, you know, we'll get together at 10 o'clock in the morning and we'll go till 8 o'clock in the evening and break for lunch and dinner. And so if you can imagine sitting in front of a table trying to piece a puzzle together all day long, that's kind of how you can feel sometimes when you go home and get ready to get some rest after you've been writing all day.